Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now just a little over 2 months away from its official release by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, Disney and Lucasfilm, that is all set and ready to end the sequel trilogy and the Skywalker saga itself. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really intriguing about Episode 9 is that we do know that this movie, of course, is going to be a revelation film. It's also going to have a lot of action-packed sequences and a lot of unexpected turns in this movie between the characters of Rey and Kylo Ren. That's really going to open up one's eyes and look back at The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens in a different light. Even Anthony Daniels just the other day said that this movie really does have a lot of secrets involved with Episode 9. So on top of all of this, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very intense between Palpatine, Rey, and Kylo Ren. Now specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that shot descriptions consisting of a sequence where it's explained that Rey is said to be facing the Emperor inside of his throne room, where it's described that Rey is said to be listening to one of Palpatine's lectures about the dark side of the Force and her potential on how she cannot escape her fate. It's said that one of the sequences is said to involve a moment in which Rey is said to use the Force repulse technique, causing a large shockwave against Palpatine, where it's said that Kylo Ren is said to eventually step inside of the throne room at a point in time, in which Palpatine is begging Rey to strike him down in anger, and her path to the dark side will be complete, very similar to what he said to Luke, where Kylo, during the scene, Palpatine electrocutes Rey with the Force lightning technique, causing her to slam into the wall, where she drops both the Skywalker saber and Leia's lightsaber, both of which are blue. It's said that Kylo Ren is said to force grab the two sabers, where he is now wielding two blue lightsabers that belong to his mother and uncle as well as his grandfather in his hands, where Kylo Ren is said to throw one of the blue sabers directly at Palpatine, where Sidious is said to dodge the attack just as Kylo begins to sprint toward Palpatine, with now just one blue saber, that is Leia's. It's said Palpatine begins to use Force lightning strikes in different patterns, where Kylo blocks the attack with his mother's lightsaber. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, the thing that's so beautifully poetic about this is the fact that Kylo Ren himself, Ben Solo, is using his mother's lightsaber. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that this is a great way to honor the character of Leia and exactly, how she is as a mother to Ben Solo and how that legacy has now passed on to, of course, Ben Solo himself. So what I like so much about this as well, though, is that they are really trying to include a lot of lightsaber action in The Rise of Skywalker that's going to mimic the prequel trilogy era. I mean, here we have a sequence where Kylo Ren is using literally two lightsabers, one in one hand, one in the other, very similar to what Anakin did in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, you name it. And that's one great thing about the prequels, I must add, is that I really do like the combination of lightsabers like that. So this is also to take place at a point in time in which Palpatine is actually giving a lecture to Rey about the dark side and how she cannot escape her fate, essentially, where it leads to a moment in which Palpatine is begging Rey to strike him down in anger so that she could fall to the dark side. And this is where Kylo Ren is said to intervene, telling Rey to not do that, to not fall for his trick. Kylo Ren is smarter, and he knows the whole entire story from what Palpatine, did to Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader, you name it. He knows everything. So this particular scene, it's basically going to set up Ben Solo / Kylo Ren as the wise individual that knows all the ins and outs and all the tricks of Palpatine and what he actually is trying to do in this particular sequence. Now, the thing about this, too, is that there is a moment in which Palpatine is using Force lightning against both Rey and Kylo Ren, where Kylo Ren is said to throw one of the lightsabers at Palpatine. That is said to be the Skywalker saber, where Sidious is said to dodge the attack, where then Kylo Ren has a chance to sprint toward him and attempts to strike him down, only to be hit with Force lightning once again, while he blocks it with his mother's lightsaber. Now, yes, Leia does have a lightsaber in this film. In fact, they are going to set up, this whole entire thing in the very beginning of the movie in the forms of a flashback and stuff like that. So you can really see what JJ's trying to do. He's trying to pick up elements from the expanded universe. In the EU, Leia had multiple lightsabers, but now in the Disney canon, they are making it out to be that at least Leia had one lightsaber that Luke Skywalker created for her and hid away on the world of Octu, and eventually hands it down to Rey when she travels back to that world, and of course before she leaves. So, like I say, this particular scene is said to be a very poetic scene. It's kind of mimicking the sequence between, of course, Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, and the Emperor, kind of, and at the same exact time throwing in the original ideas for episode 6 that never made it to the final cut of the movie, and doing new things as well on the side. So JJ, he's trying his very best in order to give us those action-packed sequences that are really going to stand out and stand on their own, and really feel very prequel-ish, but at the same exact time, having tones of the original trilogy in the background, if that makes sense. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.